guys, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been a while since I've just sat down and just had a bit of a chat with you guys. Addressing the elephant in the room first, my hair. I am now a copper queen. The blonde is gone. I've been wanting to do this color for so long and I'm just so happy with it. I can't believe this is my hair. Anyway, so for today's video, I want to share just from my personal experiences, I guess things and tips that have helped me to heal my relationship with food. I wouldn't say that now I'm completely have the best relationship with food, but I've come such a long way and I'm always getting messages and stuff on Instagram and just about asking, because I know that so many people have just such a really bad relationship with food. So I want to just share what has worked for me, and obviously what's worked for me, it doesn't mean it will work for everyone. Everyone, I guess, will have a different approach, and the way their minds work and different triggers and all that is obviously to be taken into account. But yeah, I just want to share things that have helped me, and even just, yeah, hopefully these tips can help you or just inspire you to know that your relationship with food doesn't have to be bad. It can be fixed, it can be healed, and yeah, so let's just get into it. Okay, so I feel like the biggest thing is just changing the way you think and feel about food. So getting rid of terms good and bad. It's catching yourself when you have thoughts like this is good or this is bad. You've got to catch yourself and you've got to, I guess, rewire your thinking. So notice when you're thinking things like good and bad, or I should or I shouldn't. I guess, yeah, if you're thinking of food, or if you're thinking of what to eat and being like, oh, I should have this or I shouldn't have this, oh, this is bad, I'm being naughty, catch yourself out and just stop it and just sort of, I guess, rethink, then analyze, just keep asking yourself why is this food bad, why shouldn't I have this, and just really catch yourself out and just reword the way you think of things. Just because a food might not be the most nutritious, it doesn't mean that it's bad, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't or can't have it. It just means, I guess, in a way that's good, you're mindful, you know about nutrition, so you should then, I guess, yeah, just think, okay, it's not the most nutritious food, but you can still have it as long as, I guess, yeah, just know that, okay, having this one, let's just say a piece of cake, having this one piece of cake doesn't make you unhealthy. Just like having one salad doesn't automatically make you healthy. It's all about zooming out and viewing that bigger picture. If you only eat the cake, then obviously that's not healthy. But if you only eat fruit, that's not healthy. So again, it's zooming out and just viewing the bigger picture and understanding that there is room for all these foods. Something that has really helped me is knowing that, okay, I'm having my fruits, my vegetables, my carbs, my fats, my proteins. I'm having all of this food that is so healthy and nutrient dense, because obviously that's for orthorexia. When I was struggling with orthorexia, that was I was so obsessed with only healthy. But I guess for me, when I started to try to heal my relationship with food, my first sort of step to rewiring my thinking is, okay, well, I'm still getting all these nutrients, so it's okay for me to have the cake. Again, I'm just using cake as an example. It's the first thing that came in my head. Obviously it goes for any food that you, I guess, have a negative relationship with. So yeah, I guess that for me, the way I think about food now, it's more with not necessarily intuitive eating, because I've spoken about that before. It's more about just enforcing gentle nutrition. So it's obviously being aware that, yeah, some foods do have more nutrients than others. It doesn't make them better or worse, because it's food doesn't have morals. So it's, I guess, just being aware of the nutrition and sort of just knowing, okay, some foods are better to have in smaller doses and some foods are to have in bigger doses. Not yes and no foods. It's not black and white. It is such a scale, and there is definitely room for all foods. You can still be healthy and have these whatever foods to you that are off limits. You can still have these foods every day and be healthy. So yeah, adding on for that, thoughts and stuff, you need to just remove any influences that are promoting good, bad, etc. food. So on Instagram, if you're seeing anyone that says the words good or bad, or anything that's extreme, yes, no, if you're seeing any of that, even if it's not coming across in a diet shaming sort of way, it's still enforced. It's still in the back of that person's mind. So just unfollow them. Don't look at that content. And obviously it's different if these people in real life are saying that. I guess it depends on your relationship with them and I guess where you're at with your journey. But if you can speak up and just sort of say, that's a whole other video of dealing with comments. But if you're able to say to them, no, I don't, food is food, and just, I guess, say it to those people, but you just really, really want to try and just remove any of that, because those external influences will get ingrained into your head whether you know it or not. And another thing that's helped me heal my relationship with food is just opposite action. So whatever my head was telling me, I would do the opposite, and that is really, really hard to do. All of this is easier said than done, and all of these tips are only going to work if you are committed, if you really want to heal your relationship with food. It is not going to be easy. If you are uncomfortable, it means you're doing something right. So if my head's telling me I shouldn't do this and I'm doing it anyway, then I'm doing the right thing. It is just about acting, and it's sort of something that I would, because a lot of it is just self-talk and just keep telling yourself something, and then you will believe it. So I would always just tell myself, if I was worried about having a certain meal or a certain food and I was contemplating just going back to a safer option, I would just tell myself, you know what, let's just do it. Let's eat this and see what happens. It's all about, just doing it. Feel the fear, do it anyway. So that's what I've done. I'm going to eat this and I'm going to see what happens. And surprise, nothing. Like, I had an enjoyable food. Something too that also actually really helped me heal my relationship with food, which I didn't necessarily make this connection, but it's having more of a variety of food. I sort of didn't realize that I was so stuck in having the same foods every day. Even if it was the inclusion of foods that were off limits, it was still sort of the same thing, the same structure every day. So that's what I found, just having a bit more variety, it really just changed my perspective on things. It's sort of just made me physically feel better, just getting in all different nutrients and just enjoying food again, and just viewing food as more than just fuel. It's enjoyment and it's pleasure, and it's whether it's in a social setting or at home. And for me, it was really hard to break that sort of cycle that I was stuck in for so long. But that's actually now where it is a really good segue to the sponsor of today's video, which is My Muscle Chef. So they deliver to your house ready-made meals, and I just feel like for me it's such a great way to get in variety, because they're meals that I wouldn't normally cook for myself, because it's just, for whatever reason, it was just sometimes really overwhelming just to make totally different meals from scratch. So My Muscle Chef meals, they're super, super delicious. They're made fresh, and they're actually vacuum sealed with the plastic, which I've never seen any food companies do before. So it keeps them fresh for such a long time. And you can also just put them in the freezer to last a little bit longer. But yeah, they're just so easy. You just heat them up in the microwave. They're so, so, so delicious. They have such a huge variety of vegan and plant-based meals, which I love, because a lot of meal delivery services have such a limited plant-based range. So it's so good. They have so many options. So if you want to check out My Muscle Chef for yourself, you can use my code HannahB20 for $20 off your first order. And thank you so much to My Muscle Chef for partnering with me on this video. And the final thing that I wanted to share today that really helped me to heal my relationship with food was therapy. So I obviously understand that I'm very, very, very privileged to receive therapy, to have access to it and to be able to afford it. I know that it's not easy for everyone, but trust me, I have done a lot of healing and work on my own. I do know that it is possible without therapy, but going to therapy did really, really help me. Just, I guess, all these things I mentioned before, therapy just really helped enforce it, ingrain it, and keep me consistent and accountable. So for me, I saw a psychologist, and I also saw a special eating disorder coach, and they just really, really helped me and pushed me. But if you don't have access to a therapist, find a really close family member or a friend that you really trust and that is going to be supportive to you, because the main thing that therapy helped me with was accountability. So I just wasn't holding myself accountable. So just find someone and just set yourself goals. I always set my goals when I was in a really good headspace. I'm sure if were like me, you would understand that sometimes you can be all for it and be like, yes, 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 recovery, yes, 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 and that can change very quickly. So that's what, for me, I took advantage when I was in that, yes, let's do this headspace. I would just tell my recovery coach or my mum when she was helping me, I'm going to set myself, I'm going to do XYZ or whatever. And it would just be that accountability that, okay, I've said that, I've got to do it now. So I found that really helped, and just having someone to talk to and just share things with. So as I said, if you're unable to see a therapist, just finding someone really close to you that is going to be supportive is just so, so, so helpful, because I think the hardest thing is doing it on your own. So just, having somebody else, and whether it's you going out for meals and just observing how just people with a healthy relationship with food act around food, and just seeing them eat food as food and not just getting so obsessed over it. You need to just I think as well, my biggest like takeaway from like this video and wanting to heal your relationship with food is to just zoom out. Stop focusing on one specific food. Focus like the whole big picture, because it's not just your diet, it's your life. Like, think, what do you want your life to look like, and just act that way. When you're making a meal for yourself, think what you would make if you're making that meal for someone else. Anyway, my card keeps saying it's full, so I've got to really quickly wrap it up. But thank you for watching. I really hope this was helpful to someone, and I will talk to you guys soon.